What is up? You're watching Hard Carry. We're doing a hard mode top advanced learner raid, cross freeze, stack and skip, 2-pound Nilo boss, aggressive use of venges, the works. We're going to try to help everyone here get a slightly faster time compared to their typical raids. Try to introduce some other mechanics. So for this raid, we've got myself on the south freeze rule, Dumper Vibes on the north freeze rule, Trizzy on the range rule, GM Kwana on the melee rule. He'll be using the maul or the hammer. Looks like he has a hammer in his setup. And then one Sun on the melee rule, going to be doing a double Dins. It'll be the early Dins roll. GM Krana is an Iron Man, so he does not have a Dins. Just a really quick check. If you want to be FFA, just say confirm FFA. Otherwise, you can type confirm split. Make sure that you only split if you have the money available to split a scythe out immediately after the raid on an ult. So we don't have to wait for you to drop and do a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's see a split. High rollers, all right. Let's quickly talk about the procedure for Maiden for cross freeze, stack, and skip. So unlike regular Maiden, the south freeze and the north freeze are going to be swapping who freezes the ones. So I'll be freezing north 1, then south 2, and then getting back on the boss. And then for Dumper Vibes, you're going to be freezing south 1, then north 2, then 3s and 4s. And we freeze south 3 instead of the north 3 because it catches everything in the clump. Once you've done all your freezes, you'll stay in your mage gear, ready to freeze the south 1 again. With good DPS from our team, it will be spawning pretty much right away. And you'll just stay on boss, stay on boss. I mean, after you've done your freezes, you'll just stay on boss until the next set of crabs. Then you'll freeze those set of crabs, then you'll get on boss. For range roll, why did I say stay on boss so much? For range roll, Trizzy, you'll stay on boss all the way until 50s. When the 50s spawn, you'll scythe the old south 1. Then you'll throw chins to the clump till the clump is dead, and then you'll get back on boss. Scythe the old south 1, throw chins to the clump till the clump is dead. 5 tiles away, medium fuse. Once the clump is dead, scythe the new south 1. Once that's dead, get back on boss. Make sure when you're scything that old south 1, you're not scything it till it's dead, just getting one scythe off on it, then getting ready to throw chins at the clump. For GM Chrono, you're going to be on the melee roll. Since you don't have a Dins, you're going to stay on boss all the way till 50 spawn. Then you're going to scythe the old north 1, and then you're going to scythe any loose crabs on the north side, then you get back on boss. Don't rehammer. Do not rehammer if your hammer misses. Just do one hammer on entrance. And once you're not going to hammer on entrance, you're going to save 100 spec. Right when the crabs spawn, you're going to double Dins. You're going to go, when the 50s crabs spawn, you're going to do double Dins. So 50s crabs spawn, you're on boss all the way till 50s. 50 crabs spawn, you run to the Dins tile or one of its variants. You'll do 2 Din specs in a row, and then you will get back on Maiden. You can only lose crabs if you want on the north. Yes, you're supposed to hammer Dumper Vibes if you don't have Ralos. That's fine. And if we have a little bit of overlap on our spec getting to 0, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. There's another variation you can kind of pay attention to if you have Death Charge and Surge Pot. One thing you can do is try to go for triple Dins. In other words, you'll do Dins, and then a scythe on a loose crab to kill it, and then another Dins. That's a bonus variation if you're able to get a Death Charge off and your Surge Pot off. I think you need 2 Death Charges for that to work technically. But Dins, Scythe with Surge, and then Dins again. But that's the triple Dins special.
Triple Dins.
Triple Dins. The diners, drive-ins, dragons, dives, dungeons, and something else. Anyway. Anyways, if you understand your role at main, go ahead and say R in game. You're ready to go. So let's go ahead and potion. Diners, dungeons, dragons, drive-ins, dives, and dins or something. It's cooked.
I think we got the title for this one.
Hardcore R from Ethan. That's right. If anyone wants to celebrate these guys learning cross freeze, learning stack and skip, experimenting with hard mode, learning some new stuff, and be commemorated in the video forever. If you redeem an R hardcore, you'll be in there forever. A Venge check from Hollywood Online. Any Vengers? Whenever we're doing cross freeze stack and skip, we all set up on this tile. Make sure you drop your salve and nothing else before the gate. This will make it so we don't end up losing ticks picking stuff up on the way into the next room. We're missing someone, I believe. Be patient. Should we drop that salve? Everyone should have 2 anglers coming into the raid. Looks like we got that. 1 for Bloat, 1 for Nylocas. You drop the salve. This side, GM Chrono. We want to be on this side for this. And the Dins tile is here or here. We want to stay away from those until the blood is thrown. Spam click to go in. Make sure mauling on the very first tick. This is why we do this entrance. Notice how we spawn the tomato on a good side. Make sure you're freezing, cross-freezing dumper vibes. Mage ground, Auguram, we're ready to freeze. Stay on boss. Get ready to freeze again. Get ready to freeze again. Right, remember you're freezing the south one. Don't get off the boss until the crabs have spawned. You're a DPSer. You're supposed to create the damage. Oh, we're leaking a crab there. That's unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and cleave the clump here. This isn't technically precise. My gut just says it's going to give a better outcome for this raid, though. Remember, for 30s, we'll stay on boss. Make sure you're flinching back. If you're not, once to make sure you're up against the boss so they don't get screwed over. Make sure you're cross-freezing dumper vibes. In range to freeze your crab. Awesome. Well, I'm wearing a few different items from my melee gear there. Whoops. But hey, we made a little cross restack and skip to 135. Not a bad maiden. We'll go ahead and eat our angler grab ourselves. Little let's go coach from Boars. Thanks so much for that, man. If you have a BGS, you could consider doing a BGS drive-by in hard mode top. It is good to do, especially in this scale. Make sure you attack when you do your drive-by. You run immediately through. If you would get ragged, you can skip the hit and then hit him on the backside. That's a good way to deal with hands if they're ragging you on your drive-by. Go for it once and you got this. Follow through.
Let me run.
All the way around. You can turn. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I made it.
1, 2, 3. Turns more often in hard mode, Tom. That's called the 6 Ds of hard mode Tom or something. Why did I run into the dark spot? That's not good. Oops. I swear I clicked away. What am I doing? Let's get out of there. Backy turn, backy turn. Don't overextend. Sure, walking on the walls, running around the corners. That'll space you correctly for bloat. Backy turned. Down. When I stand close to the barrier here, we're definitely going to go for the kill. Watch your feet each swing. Commit to the kill here. We're going to be going to the barrier immediately after, so I want to be standing next to the barrier between swings. Out we go. Quickly leave. Head to Nylocas. Melee amulet on. Drop yourself. Grab a shark. Should I bring Ancient Scepter for stacking, or does it not matter too much? In trios, yes. In other scales, no. And partially it's because it's like harder to get a fast enough proc. And if you're doing advanced methods for Maiden, sometimes you need a scepter, but that's for a different reason. Spam click to go in. I'll take all the pre-fire, some provides anything that makes it into the room. There's nothing inside the room. You can help out whatever pillar is lowest health or falling behind. Trees you can be arranging the whole time. Throw chins during the first dummy boss. GM prone, you got the left side of the room. Once and you got the right side of the room. Should be chilling here. Melee gear on, Scythe and Chally. Make sure you're potted for this Chally. Don't be a limp Chally. No limp Scythes, no limp Challies. Go ahead and hit that big. Hasn't died yet. Get out of the room. Fantastic. Hard mode's going to be a little more aggressive with the big pops here. Melee gear on, Scythe and Chally. Oh, sorry, not yet, not yet, not yet. Keep killing bigs. Whoops, a little early on the sticks there. Melee gear on, Scythe and Chally. Fantastic. Just keep focusing pillars, pillars down, keep them healthy. Get whatever pillar's getting the lowest, that's gonna be your target. Open season on the lowest health pillar. How did I aggro melee there? Revenge streaks, make sure you revenge. Ignore the big guy. You can pray against him, but that's about it. Good job killing that big Nilo first. We want to be killing those to make it so their splits come out soon, so we can clean up slightly faster. At this point, go ahead and focus the big guy down. We're going to focus him instead of the Nilos on the pillars. If he ends up dying, then we'll switch back over to the Nilos and the pillars. Bonk. North Freeze are going to come stand with me. Everyone else will be in the clump. Go ahead and posture the range pot. Fantastic. If you got BGS, do a BGS here. If you don't have BGS, use your damage specs right away. Do not move. We're going to be doing 2-pile. Hopefully everyone's above 85 HP. If you drop below 29, you'll need to use your brews to stay alive. If you take damage, just revenge. Should be chilling here. I need to use a couple of my tickets there. Never should drop an anglerfish. Should always be eating that heading into the room. One into bloat, one into Nilos. If you had to pick it back up, eat it immediately. Just get rid of your inventory space. Your inventory should never be clogged either. So you shouldn't be clogging your inventory, grabbing stuff from the chest. Should have eaten one of the anglers at bloat, going into bloat, one of them going into Nilos. I'll be 1-2, Dumper Vibes 1-3, Trizzy 2-3, GM Chrono, Phil, and One Sun backup. One Sun going back up. Awesome. Bottom person in the maze on the inside would be One Sun this time. Wait on the third row. Whoever's on the outside of the maze, stand on the third row till it's no longer red. Go for it. We might have been able to go one tile further up there, so it's on the edge in a 5-man. I wasn't paying attention very closely. Out we go. If balls spawn, we'll have to make a sandwich next to Sot. Make a sandwich next to Sot. I've got the right bun. Dumper Vibes has the left bun. Everyone else in the middle. Awesome. I'm on the outside. One Sun on the lowest, and the inside is going to wait in the third row. I'll be waiting in the third row until it's no longer red. Because I spawned the tornado if I go past the third row on the inside. So wait patiently. It's no longer red. We send it. claw specs if you got them. A little heal other action that comes from Jakrama. Very fun to see. We'll take advantage of that healer, turn it into vengeance damage. Good opportunities. Try to take your vengeance off prayer if you can as we get close to the end of the fight. Quickly out of the room. Whoa, a little misclick there. Make sure you grab your stam first. Nobody else can buy that for you. If you can decant things off the ground to make full potions, feel free to do so. Grab resources. You have 3 things to restore prayer in your backpack. Then buy a brews. If you have extra points, buy and drop brews for your teammates. Extra points, buy and drop sharks for your teammates or some brews on the ground. And then head into the next room. Spam click to go in. But second exhume spawns in your quadrant that you had at Sot. I will hold it until you're able to take over. Stay on the old one until it expires, and then take over the one that I'm standing on. Hard from Lex Luger. He's ready for some hard mode, it seems. Stay in your quadrant. If it's not your quadrant, it's not your problem. Cracked iron. Thank you for the raid, my man. What were you up to? Never double maul. Only single. Only single. Doing some Tobin. Love to hear it. Earlier this stream, we were doing some pretty efficient 4-mans. We're doing a little hard mode top learners right now. Any luck? Any purples? Any kits? Or anything like that? Any pets? I always like to check, because sometimes, you know, you have that day, and it's fun to celebrate. Correct raid. This is the last exhume, so I'm going to stay on it, even though I would normally rotate around. Mimbara, how are we doing? Dex today, GZ. Oh, that's troll. Not your Dex. Me misplaying. That was troll. I try to get rid of your claw specs if you've got them. A lot of top, but no luck. Hardwood top and regs. I want to do some hardwood sometime. Good. 3 out of 5 today. We up. Let's go. Oh wait, no, not today. Yesterday. The service with.
Whoa, baby.
High camera angle. Click the center tile under Xarpus. That's my best piece of advice for that. I hate when it happens too. You're taking a lot of damage doing that one, so it's not worth it.
Yeah.
This tile next. You're good. I'll try to get your prayer pot off so you can get your piety back on. Piety is very strong. 1 dose is worth using. Off the boss, 5-tick weapon on. You want to use your Fang here, Quant?
Dang, really?
3, 4, 5. Oh, you have T-bow as well. What is T-bow?
I'm not melee potted right now, so I only have range pot on.
Hit your divine melee pot before the room ends as well, so you can get free 10 HP. I was definitely divine melee potted myself. I definitely wasn't unpotted that room. Lol. I'm over here just yapping. Got a raid in the middle of the room as well. Someone's got to grab the stick. I see someone has space, so I'm going to just send it. Some people have some things that they should have used at Bloat and Nylocas. Some people have some things that should have. Anyway, a little venge check here. Make sure everyone's casted their venge, getting it used.
Oh. There you go. Yeah.
spread your supplies out. Any coughs? Any? Wait a minute. What are those anglerfish doing in my inventory still? You keep telling me to bring them, but I never use them.
True.
It's a very powerful item for Naos. We have a couple people needing venge still. We're gonna follow Ore Border, swing from pillar to pillar. Spam click to start. Here we go. 5 second thrall, 2, 1, go. Dumper Vibe's going to pick it up. Spec while heading back to the pillar as well. Get both specs off. You only have time for one, that's fine. Just get it next time.
Oh, that's way early. Whoopsies.
Triz, you're going to pick up at the west pillar after this. Get your spec off, and then drop it at the west pillar again. Jim Cron, you're going to pick up at the west pillar. Once you're going to pick up at the east pillar. I will pick up the west pillar.
My staff.
Dumper Vibe, pick it up next. If you're specking twice, get closer after the first spec, so that the second spec is lower projectile time. Triz, you're up. Good job holding your spec since it was low HP. If small optimization, try to move closer between attacks. So if you do attack more than once, it has slower projectile distance. Makes it land sooner. Let me make sure everyone's 118 to range pair on Jim Kruna. Hit them when they're blue. Don't just run away from them. Brew up 85 HP before you swing. All it takes is one mistake and you're dead. It's not worth it. We have the supplies for it. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure everyone's 118 stats. Looks like Trizzy's brewing up right now. You're gonna get their restore super combat off surely.
Eventually,
I think we're chilling. Almost. I found someone on 99. I won't say who it was. They're not 99 anymore, so... There we go. Be careful not to heal it. It's 37%. Last hit, no more. Don't let your prayer drop to 0. Fantastic. Mage prayer on one son. Holy, just
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's playing for the vengeance.
Oopsies.
Lol. That's okay. We figured it out. You might normally use spec during this to try and push it. In hard mode top, you can in hard mode top. I would not recommend it in learner raids though. It's fine to just be a little slower here. Have a little more spec for the enrage phase, which is typically the slightly more difficult portion of the raid. Clean tanking is what carries P3, so if you get the tank, do your best to tank cleanly. Make sure you revenge if your venge just broke. Look at those venges. After his attack, we're going to put our saying on, hit any loose crabs.
Oh, sorry.
Venge value.
Thank you.
Stand aside of Verzik closest to webs. Very nice. Sip your stam, sip your super combat. Everyone should be 118, swinging really hard here. Might be a north proc 6. Take your scythe if you know it. Under attack. Awesome. Lay your NATO far away. Grab your yellows the last second. Wherever you were at P2 is where you go for your yellows. Three, 4, 5, 6. Under attack. Spit 2. Under attack. Spit 2. Under attack. There you go. Into the Pog Tank right away. 6 ticks after yellows. Exclamation mark learn Pog if you want to learn how to do that. Make sure you get your specs off while you're fully potted. I see someone at 100 specs still. Doesn't matter whether it's a Fang spec, a Claw spec, or something. Just use your damage specs. Pass the ball to a teammate by running and attacking Verzik near.
No.
Nearby. Whoa.
Okay. There we go.
Crabs are spawning soon here. Gonna pop them, pop them. Do not let them, survive to webs. Keep swinging, keep swinging, keep swinging. Doesn't die here. Make webs. Make webs. Fantastic. GM Crumb, you're too far behind. Just go ahead and leave. Should be dead here. GZ, another hard mood completed. You'd love to see it. 1755 challenge time, 2050 total time. Plenty of time to spare. Let's go ahead and open it up and see if we get any kits. We always like checking for kits. We had 4 minutes, 10 seconds to spare for challenge time. Plenty of time to spare. Holy 1 million GP for me. No kits. Nice try. Any questions about the raid? We did a couple things different. We did cross restack and skip and Maiden. We did attempt to drive by at Bloat. We did 2 pilot Nylos. Try to use our revenge a little more aggressively at Sot. And the rest of it is pretty similar to any typical hard mode top. But any questions about any of the stuff maybe we did this raid or just in general?
Yeah, I had a question.
Go for it, Trizzy.
So when you pop the crab with your Sang staff, even if it gets close to you, do you need to worry about it if it's
Yes. So it's lethal until it's dead. That's the way I'll explain it. So in the case we're using like an Eye of Ayak, which has a pretty fast projectile speed, if you attack it and then immediately run towards it, you could technically still pop it before the Ayak has landed because it's a 2-tick register right before it actually like dies. So if you attack it and then you run diagonally towards it or something, it could pop technically. If you're just the right distance. If you're using a Sang, it's worse because Sang has slightly slower travel time. And if you're using something like a Tumikin Shadow, I don't know why you would bring that, but suppose you did, that crab's going to be dangerous forever because that thing's going to be arcing through the air, slowly making its way to it, and finally dying. So the crab's lethal even if it's queued for death. If you would make it die sooner by popping it, by being too close to it, it could still damage you. It's a long answer, but yes.
I have a question, Hard Carry.
What's up?
For cross freezing, so even at 30s, you still just do cross freeze procedure then?
So that's a good question. And the answer is it depends, actually. So some teams will do what's called cross all, which is what I teach. It seems to be the more common amongst teams to do cross all. Some teams prefer not to, and there's a small nuanced reason for it, having to do with filling on the South 1 that's going to leak going in for 30s. I personally think that's so marginal and too confusing for the average raid.
Okay.
It's like more complicated than it needs to be. It makes you have to remember to do more things and whatnot. But if you're ever trying to call for cross freeze in one of your own raids, what you should do is just confirm cross all. And what cross all means is that you will cross freeze for 70s, 50s, and 30s. Sometimes as well, especially if you have someone who's SBS freezing for SBS freezing, sometimes the South freeze will also catch 4s depending on the team for 30s. The way I teach it, I don't have the South freeze catch 4s unless the North freeze is late. That way the North freeze is like consistent every time. The downside of doing that is that it's a little bit harder for the North freeze to use a ZCB spec if they're using Surge Pot and Light Bear. That's kind of a niche case. Since that's not really applicable in these teams, I don't worry about it. I just have North freeze catch all every time, and then they'll just come in and do a claw spec with no lost value. But if they, for some reason, aren't able to get their ZCB off because our arms are gigantic and we proc too fast and the 30 spawn too soon, what ends up happening is they'll have to freeze 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and then they'd have 75 spec that they don't know what to do with. And they try to ZCB spec, it's only going to hit like 80 damage because everyone else is staying on boss for 30s. And that's bad. We don't want to waste 30 damage. So by swapping the North freeze off the 4s for the 30s proc, sometimes we can get a ZCB spec. So your question was, do we ever not cross freeze for all of them? And the answer is, it depends on your team. And I try to give some reasons for why you might choose not to do cross all. And usually it's because your team has a little more gear than what we're bringing or trying some slightly more advanced methods.
Got it. Okay. But it sounds like if I were to try and run this in the team, just confirm like cross all essentially.
Yeah, you
and
would call
people
for
should
cross
understand
all,
that.
and people know that cross all means you're freezing. The same crabs as you did for 70s, 50s, you'll freeze for 30s as well. And you can, if you want to be really, really clear, you can make sure they understand that North Freeze will catch all for 30s just like before, or South Freeze will catch 4s for 30s. That's like a courtesy or something.
Got it. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, make sure that they know what cross is as well. They might not know what cross freezing is at all. Lex Luger is a great point in chat. Not everybody knows cross. That's true. That's why we're spreading the word here. Mr. Hard, when cross freezing does North Freeze have to wait for South 2 to be in position as usual? So they don't have to wait, but the reason why they don't have to wait is because they're already waiting 1 tick for the North one. They're freezing the North one tick later, 2 ticks if it's scuffed crabs. To make it so the Din's Bulwark can reach the North 1. So it's not just swapping the crabs, it's swapping the crabs, and the South Freeze freezes 1 tick later intentionally, so that Onsen over here, who's got his Din's Bulwark, can use his Din spec and hit the North 1. If I were to freeze the North 1 on the first tick, it wouldn't be inside the range of the Din's Bulwark, so it wouldn't get that free value. The whole point of the cross freezing, it's not just like we have fun just switching who freezes what crabs, it's because it actually gives the Dins one more target to AoE on. Lex Luger, we do it with learners all the time. It's to become good at it, you got to practice it. You can't just be good at it off the rip, right? Some people are naturals, but we do it with learners here. Plenty of them on YouTube. Take a look at the playlist, by the way, if you haven't. Any other questions?
Yes.
Go for it.
So I know that Nox Halberd obviously is not a good choice for learners in general. However, I have like a couple hundred KC normals. I'm not falling into the regular pitfalls that would usually like make learners fail with the Nox Halberd. How bad would it be if I use it instead of a whip?
So there's on paper, it's very slightly better DPS, and in regs, I would recommend using it only under certain contexts. So like, for example, at bloat, it's very difficult to use correctly because if you camp it and you don't properly use it, then you sometimes miss a hit that you would have gotten if you had used the whip. And sometimes you could actually do like 5 whip, 1 Nox Halberd as your last hit. That's another common adjustment. There's also for P2, it's better DPS, but only if you're getting 100% uptime with the weapon. You're always going to get 100% uptime with the tent whip because it's a 4-tick weapon, right? It's very easy to use, but the Nox Halberd 5-tick, especially with the acid pools, is very tricky to use during hard mode Tob, and you don't always want to be spaced away from Verzik more than 2 tiles to do drag attacks, because then sometimes you'll cause slow cabbages of Verzik's targeting you, which is a 1 in 5. And that slow cabbage can actually cause everyone on your team to take a little chip damage if they're not being careful. So there are some nuances to using the Nox Halberd correctly in hard mode Tob. So it makes me a little hesitant to say you'd use it for P2. I'm pretty sure for P3, you have Fang as well. I'm pretty sure it's better. Fang is better at Sot. Nox Halberd is...
It's almost equal DPS, I think.
I think it's about the same, yeah.
Because of the oath.
Especially with the gear you have. So it's a very not super powerful item to bring in terms of like, is it going to increase your raid quality? I would consider honestly checking for other things you can bring like SBS for incorporating more of those kinds of things in your raids. So like I think Vengeance Thrall is going to probably give you more value than a Nox Halberd. And if you have
it's not about the like weapon dealing more damage. It's about me having more inventory space because it saves me bringing the extra weapon and the Avernic, right? So I can then bring the SBS for free, basically.
Yeah, well, you would have some problems, I think, during P2 if you are using it for hard mode. It's going mostly because it's going to cause slow cabbages if you're getting 100% uptime. There's going to be times where you'd want to do like a drag attack to not lose the last tick, right? And the way you'd have to kind of manage that is by you could do something like I'm kind of showing it on stream right now, but if you're like doing a movement like this, like you attack on this tile, and then you step here, 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 and then you do an attack, you'll do a drag attack like this, where you move 2 tiles, and then you can do the same thing except you use like this set of tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and control click to attack, to do a walking attack, and that'll walk you in one tile. And then finally, depending on where the cabbages have landed, you might have another path that you can make, but one of these two paths will work, and you can do an attack with a drag attack, and then you have one more variation where you use the first set of tiles that you use one more time, and then you'll have to do an L movement with a control attack, and that will give you your fourth attack. And if you do those in sequence, you'll never get cabbage reverse. You'll never cause a fast cabbage for your team, and you'll be able to have 100% uptime. The problem, though, is that's a very, very specific movement for P2 to learn. I would honestly just say it's not worth doing because it's more likely going to confuse your team and make them panic than anything else. And if you mess it up at all, it instantly just becomes worse than the whip anyway. But there are.
I mean, I use the 100% uptime in regs anyway the entire time, right? Just because it saves me so much inventory space, I can bring so much gear into the raid.
Yeah, I would say the SBS would be good to add. I would argue that maybe the Nox Halberd isn't bringing a ton of value compared to like Tent Whip, Defender, and Fang. You'd still want the Fang anyway, which would mean you wouldn't really be getting the Defender for free because the Fang's going to be better at Sot.
It's not better at Sot. If we go to 100 defense, Oath Play plus Nox Halberd is better DPS.
Oh, no way. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
like
yeah.
full. Oh, you have full Oath Plate too.
Yeah,
So maybe the slash bonus does make it better. I haven't thought about the slash bonus. Halberd is slash too.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be slightly better DPS in some cases for you then. And you get to really recline. You don't have to do any flinching or anything, I guess, for generating orbs, for like casting a lot of vengeance. It's worth considering, I guess. Although
It's up to you if you wanna like have me try that, or if you say no, I'd rather have you be on whip and like be safe and everything.
yeah, I think it's risky, and if you want like really consistent long-term raids, it's probably better not to use it. Just on the basis that like a single mistake at Verzik is going to cause you to be worse off than if you had the Tent Whip and Defender. But if you play,
I'd rather have the scythe, you know.
Yeah, the solution is get a scythe. That's just your answer.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm running dual bobs.
Yeah, it's fair. But yeah, I would say in terms of things you could add to your setup that you didn't have last raid, SBS would be definitely one of them. Although it is a little bit tricky to use at points. Gear questions are always cool. Any other questions from you guys? I don't hear any. If you have any questions if people watching this later on YouTube, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm always happy to answer them. But that being said, shout out to all of you who liked the video. I like you. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If all of you take care of the theater, good luck and good raids. We'll catch you in the next